With the title Roman Emperor, you might think life would have been easy for Marcus Aurelius, but it wasn't. Within the first year of his reign, one of Rome's client states, Armenia, was seized by their common enemy, the Parthians. War ensued to reclaim Armenia as Aurelius faced other difficulties in the empire, including chronic physical pains. But through Stoic training, Aurelius was able to master his perceptions and see each obstacle as an opportunity to improve, knew that he couldn't control all that happened to him, but he could control how he responded. This Stoic practice, as well as the 5 others below, can help you take control of your happiness and live your best life. The Stoics knew the importance of mastering their perceptions. They observed how easily we humans could be pushed and pulled by things out of our control. Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all wrote vast amounts on this subject, proving it to be one of Stoicism's essential principles. The Stoics used this practice to do what others didn't or wouldn't do, take responsibility for their life. Our perception influences all we experience, so why give that power to other people or situations? Training your perception to mastery not only puts the quality of your life into your hands, or in this case your head, but it also helps you attain your goals. Characteristics of the rational soul: self-perception, self-examination, and the power to make of itself whatever it wants. It reaps its own harvest. It reaches its intended goal, no matter where the limit of its life is set. No matter which task you pick, it has fulfilled its mission, done its work completely, so that it can say, "I have what I came for." Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. The Stoics have a word for this hypolpiesis, which means taking up of perceptions, thoughts, and judgments by our minds. Practice the following lessons from Aurelius to train and take up your perceptions. God did not intend my happiness to rest with someone else. Marcus Aurelius. Meditations. As an emperor, Marcus Aurelius was both criticized and praised, but he learned to not be affected by either. He observed human nature and often wrote about it in his Reflections of Life, now translated to the book Meditations. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and unfriendly."
The world may have changed in the almost 2,000 years since Aurelius's time, but human behavior hasn't. Every day there are people and things that can annoy and distract us, but we have it in our power to not let that happen. It all depends on our response. Don't take responsibility for other people's behavior, take responsibility for your own. If someone despises me, that's their problem. Mine not to do or say anything despicable. If someone hates me, that's their problem. Mine to be patient and cheerful with everyone, including them. Ready to show them their mistake. Not spitefully or to show off my own self-control, but in an honest, upright way. That's the way we should be like inside. And never let the gods catch us feeling anger or resentment. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. People will never meet our high expectations of them, so before letting their behavior evoke our emotions, let us resort back to what is within our control. What virtue can we practice in that moment? This is the way to becoming a better Stoic and a better person. Just as nature takes every obstacle, every impediment, and works around it, turns it to its purposes, incorporates it into itself, so too, a rational being can turn each setback into raw material and use it to achieve its goal. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Aurelius and the Stoics knew that obstacles weren't bad at all, that they were actually opportunities to create success and become better in the process. Be, as Aurelius says, like nature, in the way that it uses everything, both good and bad, to reach its purpose. Every day we encounter situations that can be interpreted as either a hindrance or a way to practice virtue. Continue reminding yourself that you are the narrator of your story, that how you interpret what you are facing is up to you. Take time to make the choice that strengthens your character and adds to your self-control. These are the choices that will you face. To love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. The Stoics believed that a universal guiding force was pulling them, and all of us, toward what is destined. They compared this notion to a dog being pulled by a cart. We can either dig our hind legs in and resist the pull, struggling toward where destiny is leading us, or we can accept the pull, enjoying the journey of our destiny. Credited human greatness to this notion. Amor fati, which translated from Latin means, my formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity, not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. The Stoics chose to embrace and enjoy the path they had been given. They believed we could either love our destiny and go with it, or resist it and struggle. There are things in all our lives we wish would be different at one point or another. We want to be more like other people. Remember, matter how tiny you share of it. Time, how brief and fleeting your allotment of it. Fate, how small a role you play in it. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. Aurelius was constantly pondering the fleetingness of life. This is reflected in the countless times he mentions it in his personal journals. Now known as Meditations, he reminded himself of all the people who have come and gone, the range of pursuits they all had, and that they are now just smoke and dust. The phrase for this reminder of death is memento mori, which translated from Latin means, remember that you will die. We can use this reminder as Aurelius did, to inspire us to live our best life, to let go of trivial worries, to live a life of virtue, to understand and empathize, and to love our fate. Taking an eternal perspective can help us see the opportunity in our obstacles. In times of joy, we can use memento mori to appreciate the greatness of this moment here right now. Comparing our lives to eternity is humbling. It shows us how small a part we play in this universe. My city and state are Rome as Antoninus, but as a human being, the world. So for me, good can only mean what's good for both communities. Marcus Aurelius. Meditations. Here's a video that gives us a perspective of Earth from space. It's a speech by Carl Sagan with a variety of visuals related to the human species and our blue planet. And Aurelius and the Stoics have provided us with practices, ideas, and examples of how to live well. Let us waste no more time. Let's get to it. And mental health terms. There are certain things that, whether of the moment or not, will always hold true. Stoicism is one of those. But this ancient method for living is very much part of a cultural resurgence now. It has been spoken about by such as actor Russell Brand and best-selling author Matt Haig, both of who are seen as ambassadors for mental health. Stoicism is a type of philosophy founded in Greece in the early 3rd century BC. It was started by a great thinker called Zeno, who was born in Cyprus in 334 BC. It swiftly became extremely popular as one of the most significant schools of philosophy. Ever since, it has enjoyed various revivals as new generations discover its wisdom for successfully living life on life's terms. In particular, Stoicism emphasized living in a virtuous manner. This included always being in agreement with nature in order to gain peace of mind. Stoics believe it's vital that people don't react to events, but that instead, people learn to react to their perception of them. That perception or judgment is always up to the person. He believed that people often have incorrect beliefs about situations they're in. These beliefs lead to difficulties and unhappiness. But using various methods that can be learned by anyone, these beliefs can often be challenged and seen from a different perspective. This means that difficulties and unhappiness can be avoided. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. If it is.
Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question. What fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Caretake this moment. Immerse yourself in its particulars. Respond to this person, this challenge, this deed. Quit evasions. Stop giving yourself needless trouble. It is time to really live, to fully inhabit the situation you happen to be in now. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You become what you give your attention to. No person is free who is not master of himself. It's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. He who is brave is free. A more stoic outlook can help us overcome the challenges we find in the world as we live in a more relaxed, positive, and peaceful state. Here are other articles you can read to reduce your stress.
As human beings, we ought to be vulnerable. We shouldn't try to say that we can be self-sufficient or do everything that is necessary for a good life on our own, because we need other people. Life is about more than earning a living. And if you're not in the habit of thinking about it, you can end up middle-aged or even older and shocked to realize that your life seems empty.